It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on Habscast.
Yeah, great day. Dick Irvin didn't have too many of those nights when he was covering the Habs. that was pathetic. Early Festivus, come on here if you're on X. Come on to YouTube and air your grievances in their live chat. There should be plenty. Hey, Habs finally outshot a team, and look what happens, right? 7-0 Habs. Oh no, sorry, it was 7-0 Dallas. Woo! Well, if Marty I think there's method to Marty's madness here. Now people can't say, well, why aren't you playing Dobish? He's hot. There, problem solved. Now he can play Monty to his heart's content, right? Nobody's going to say, well, why aren't you playing the hot goalie? There is no hot goalie. Bingo. He's thinking he plays chess. We're all playing checkers. Marty's playing chess. So, that's so kudos to him. He's pulled it off. You know what? I also think, and I'm thinking about it because, why was Veleno on the power play when Newhook got hurt? Trying to think, okay, 0 points, capping in 13th in the league in even strength points per game. Why? I think he's showcasing them for the Olympics. I do believe, that maybe the higher ups in Hockey Canada are watching and showcasing Veleno to try to make the Olympic team. I think, maybe that's what it is. Or maybe the Italian team. Is he eligible for the Italian team? You know what? Right now, Italy would say no. I don't think he can make the cut. We've got we don't have a spot for him. Lane or Hudson? What is he, -7 in the last 2 games? The Habs, in a 71-minute span between the start of the second period against LA and tonight, outscored 11-0. And since Anderson's goal at the end of the first period of the last game, outscored 12-0. So, let us pray, right? As Point Two once said, famous the Canadians before a really, really, they're playing Boston, I think, and everyone was really uptight, and they're in the dressing room, and Guy Lapointe got down on the middle of the dressing room on his knees and said, let us pray. Well, it cracked everybody up, and they went from there. Well, let us pray that things get turned around here in a hurry. For those saying, oh, well, Tage Thompson, blah, blah, blah. I think what we saw in the last 2 nights, folks, is that this team isn't ready yet to compete against the big boys at playoff time, right? Played a couple of big teams in Dallas and LA, and just got, knocked out of the park. Do we sit Suzuki for a little bit here? He's obviously nursing something, right? Taking these therapy days. Yeah, he wants to keep that streak going, but boy, I don't know. And be a little easy on the comments here, guys, and Slavkovsky, I don't want to see, because Slav was the best player on the Canadians tonight. So don't come to me. I'm not in the mood for it. So I'm just warning you, don't come to me with the Slavkovsky crap. He's 21 years old, and he was the only guy competing out there tonight for the Canadians. And I don't want to see it, okay? I know when we get bitchy, when we lose a couple of games and lose bad, but I don't want to see the nonsense, okay? Please, I'm just warning you. You will get, okay, well, here. Julian Wiseman, bye. You can go. Anyone else going to be an idiot? You're going to get, you're I'm not putting up with it. Okay. Let's stay sane, and let's not go crazy about. Okay. And oh well, okay, well, Slavkovsky, we got to blame it on him. Well, let's have a look at the stats here just for fun. I'm going to oh geez, like everything else, it's working well tonight, eh? Um, okay, full screen layout. I'm clicking on it and it's not coming on. Remove, add to stage. There we go. Some reason I had to remove. Um, yeah. When you look at these guys, who was even tonight among the players? You know who was? Yuri Slavkovsky. Even, okay? So I don't want to hear about Slavkovsky sucking because he doesn't. He was the best player. He was the Habs' best player tonight. If they'd all played like Slav, they wouldn't have lost 7-0. So enough. He's 17. He played great. And hey, you guys wanted me on tonight, Francois. There you go. I'm getting and thank you very much. $5. Have yourself a beer, Grant. You earned that one after this match. You know what? I didn't even grab a beer tonight. I should go up and get one actually, but Francois, thank you for the $5. I really appreciate it. It's been a long day. But let's have a quick look at the stats here. Suzuki 22 minutes. Ugh. Hey, to play 22 minutes tonight and be even, that's impressive. Cappy, hey, not a great night, right? -3. Hudson -4, -7 the last two games. It's not easy when when the lines get jumbled up like that. Clearly, they're going to call someone up. I've got a video on that I'm working on in Davidson that I'm going to put up tomorrow, and I'll put in my 2 cents whether I think it should be him that's called up. Certainly, with 7 goals in 6 games, or 7 goals in his last 7 games, he's earned it. I think so. Hopefully, he gets called up. What stands out here? Slav had 4 shots on net. Again, even in the plus minus. Don't give me this Slav sucks stuff because it's garbage. All right. And they're back to 36% face-offs tonight. That's not good enough. Kirby Doc, old Kirby, snuck in some tonight. That penalty, I'm sorry, but those lazy friggin' penalties, and Doc got a few of them last year. At the end of a power play, you can't do what, you can't grab a guy like that because they're just waiting to call something, And even like the night before, a 5-on-3, and Doc, all he had to do was breathe on somebody and he was getting a penalty, right? So, wasn't impressed with Doc tonight. That was the Doc that we saw last year. Veleno, I mean, come on. Grant, could you describe what type of player Davidson is and where you'd see him? Yeah, well, I could. I'd like people to watch the video that I made yesterday, though. So, why don't you look at the video that I post tomorrow? Is that a deal? I'll go into real detail on it. He's a smart player. He's got a great shot. He likes to shoot, and it looks like the Canadians could use that type of player right now. Somebody that likes to shoot. That would be a welcome addition right now. Okay, Mark, that's a deal. Okay, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. By the way, press like, and if you're watching on X, join us in the live chat here. There's lots of people. And Stain X is out saying they were out shit tonight. No, nobody was shittier than the Habs tonight. When you could make Casey DeSmith look like, Slater, I was thinking the same thing, and I was going to say that. I think they were showcasing Casey DeSmith. The Habs were showcasing Casey DeSmith for the Olympics. I mean, he looked like a superstar, right? But no, to his credit, he played well. He made some really nice saves, and you know, he, like any goalie in the NHL, they're in the NHL for a reason, right? And we're not. Like, um, they can have really good games, and we've seen it in Montreal plenty of times before, right? A backup goalie can come in and stand on his head, and it's like, oh wow, you know, get first star of the night. It's happened many times. Hey, Montreal's an inspiring place to play when you're out of towner. You know, the rich history, the whole works. A lot of guys play their best games. They get up from Montreal. Jason Barbosa, Suzuki should take a rest. Maybe, you know. Um, he almost looks worn down. Eh? Uh, yeah, I get the wanting the consecutive game streak thing to go, but play 22 minutes tonight. That's not Sheldon. Way too many breakdowns. You said it, my friend. That was oh man, that poor Arbor in the third period too. It was just here, here, here. Ah, boy. I did not see a couple of the goals. I was busy trying to get things rolling here. Liam, I got to thank him for being patient there. For some reason, he couldn't hear me. I don't know. Everyone else could, but not my co-host, and couldn't get it figured out. I don't know. I am. What I do know I'm going to be doing is canceling my VPN. It's just caused me headaches galore with the streaming. It's getting canceled, so I don't have to worry about it being on and forgetting to switch it on or off sometimes. Ottawa, yeah. Hmm They'll be right for a Saturday when they beat Montreal. Well, yeah. Some samurai night. You gotta love Veleno out there in the last few minutes. Last few minutes. Every time. You, second period when they were down again and they don't put Kapanen on the power play, they put Veleno. And then the next shift after the power play, they put him out again. And the other team scored. Gee, Marty's on the bench. Wow, my best player. How could this be? How could this be happening? So now they got two goalies that zero confidence. And you know what burns me too? Okay, Dobish loses in overtime, right? He's really upset. And what do? They play Monty two straight games. Okay, fine. Didn't agree with it. All right. Then they put in Doby against Dallas, a great team, and pull them after two periods. Like, can you tell? Can you not tell me that Monty should have been pulled about 6 friggin' times already this year, and he never does? But they pull Mont. As soon as Doby has a little bit of a rough stretch in the game, oh, we got to pull him. We got to even fuck with his confidence even more than we have, in the last week. Going press conference saying, well, even though Dovish is third in the league in save percentage and hasn't lost a game, Monty's my goalie. Monty's my starter. You think that resonated well with Doby? Then he has the one bad game, well, not even bad. They just didn't win, and they put Monty in the next two games. And Dovish has a bit of a, and he wasn't really to blame. Like, I mean, I've seen Monty give up worse freaking goals than Dobish did tonight. And we got to pull him. Never pull Monty though. Monty's the boy. Monty's the guy. He's the guy that's going to take him to the promised land with the waiver pickup, third round draft pick. He's taking him to the promised land there. Just wait and see. Yeah. Okay. Let's get some more comments here. Sens beat Boston 5-3. Yeah. I think the Leafs won even too, eh? So it's just a perfect night. I missed the game tonight and just saw the score. What the hell happened other than the obvious? Well, everybody kind of shit the bed, really. Yeah. Yeah, Paul, it's 12 straight goals, but in a 71 minute span, 11-0, they're outscored. Like a little over a game between the first minute of the second period against LA and 2 minutes into the third period against, they give up 11 straight, 11-0. Isn't that wild? That's just crazy. I hope it's out of their system. In the offensive zone, Habs passes are just bricks through the crease that can be received. Only Demidov and Zuki are controlling their pass strength. Pretty much. Pretty much. We went from dudes to duds. Gary Kahn. The Wrath of Khan, eh? Yeah, I hear you, my friend. The Wrath of Khan. Well, the great thing about these two games is it only counts, it's 2 losses, right? I mean, so much for the goal differential being on top in the Habs are no longer on top in the division, that's for sure. In goal differential, that disappeared in one fell swoop. They're back to what, 4 against and 6. I think they're even, or no, they're down. They're -1 now, probably, in goal differential, just like that. Crazy. Team is way too small. It might be. Well, when you see a defense like that, right? It sure looked like it. Slav was the best player tonight. I thought so. He really was. And people coming on saying, "Oh, he sucks," and like, just stop it, okay? I hate it. It burns me because it's just ridiculous. Freaking 21-year-old. Yeah, well, he did. He needed to come up and play better, and he did. Slav has been good, solid all year, really. His point total should be higher. He's had a couple of games, but Eric M. Hey, thanks, Eric. Thanks for joining us. Do you think the Habs should call up Florian? Well, I think that if he was deserving of it, but right now he's not playing very well. He's not. I don't know if not making the team affected it. Sometimes that happens. You think you go into a funk because you think, oh, I deserve to be on the team, and you kind of pout a bit, or I don't know, but that's not the guy I'd call up right now. He's not doing it. But on the other hand, they might, it might make sense for them to call up 2 guys because they've got this. They don't have any. Well, right now they've got 11 forwards. I'd call up 2 and sit Veleno is what I'd do, and maybe Jack just to get some size and sandpaper on that 4th line, and try Davidson in Newhook's spot or Bolduc, or I mean, what they were doing there was they finally tried Demidov and Bolduc together, but it wasn't with Kapanen, it was with Doc. But I mean, maybe they try that as a trio now that Newhook's gone. I don't know that if they're going to try Bolduc with Cappy and Demidov. That's what I'd do, but right now Marty seems to be doing the opposite of what I think. So I'm not going to hold my breath that that's going to happen. Sam Dean, those who wanted Bolduc to be on the second line with Demidov, I think it'll happen. Yeah, but it's probably going to be Doc that's in between them. But hey, whatever. I think they gotta try it now. In October, it looked like Montreal was playing an unpredictable game. Lately, it seems as if they're just getting too predictable. Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Andrew Moulton, thanks, Andrew, for stopping in and commenting. I haven't been participating in the goalie conference, but damn, it ever looked like Marty should have just kept riding Dobish. Well, it's too late now, right? Now he's got two goalies that are sucking, and that's not good. Um, I think Marty needs to come back with Dovish. I would, but no, Monty's his guy. It's clear as day. The Habs will win the cup as this year true story. Okay. Slater, Montreal was outplayed by themselves tonight after the first period. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Do I think that Davidson should take Newhook's spot? Uh, well, he might end up playing with Kapanen, but it might be third line and Doc, Bolduc, and Demidov together. Looked like that's what they were. They didn't try Bolduc with Kapanen and Demidov, so uh, um, I have a feeling that they're going to break up Kapanen and Demidov now and put them with Doc and Bolduc, which, I mean, isn't a horrible thing. Um, I'd like to see Bolduc playing with Demidov and, whichever center. I wish it was Cappy, but I mean, probably work with Doc too. Fish Boy Steve, where was your favorite place to go while you were a scout? Um, Favorite town, you mean, to go to? When I was I kind of like Kingston. Um, College town kind of has a an enthusiasm about it, Um, lots of university kids and uh, pretty cool. The bars and the restaurants are always pretty active and nice people. I like Kingston. It's a nice town. Probably my favorite, and the drive's not horrible, right? Um, from Ottawa to Kingston, that's not a bad tour, especially if you take the back roads. Um, I notice you've been forgetting during lunch, like hit and subscribe. Let's help this channel grow. Yeah, please hit subscribe and like this episode if you don't mind. Every bit helps. You'd be surprised. Like it kicks in algorithms. It gets YouTube likes that when you engage. Other than live chat doesn't. I could have a million messages and uh, YouTube likes you just pressing like more than leaving 10 messages. I don't know why, but if you don't mind, press like and hit subscribe if you haven't already, and you get notified when I'm going to be doing a live podcast or upcoming podcasts. So if you don't mind, folks, if you can subscribe, it's wholly appreciated. Francois, Stars will have to empty their wallet to sign Robertson if he always plays like this during the season. Yeah, well, he started out really slow at the start of the year, but yeah, another one of those guys that just seems to, there's certain guys that play great against Montreal, it seems like, and he'd be one of them. Jake, this team is lacking a veteran in their top six badly. Maybe, eh? I don't know. When a team going through this, which there have been signs of issues even when winning, this isn't just on one individual. Oh, no, absolutely. Yeah, they're doing this as a team. I'm still perplexed on Veleno. Yeah, I'm not blaming the loss on Joe Veleno by any means. That's for sure. It was a team effort tonight, all the way through. What did we? Duke, no shots on net tonight. He did throw 4 hits. Arbor with another 4 hits. Veleno, believe it or not, had 4 hits. You know what? When you got that many hits, it's not always a good sign. It kind of means that the other team had the friggin' puck for most of the game. Giveaways, Arbor with 3. Yeah, Stroobs did not have any giveaways tonight, at least not any official. He's actually been not too bad, I've found lately. I haven't minded Strubal's game, on the whole. Laner, a little bit of struggles the last couple of games, but hey, you you know, it'll come for Lane. I mean, he had the same deal last year. Still a young player. He wants to make a difference out there, and that's more important than anything, right? Let's get to some more questions here. Dallas always seemed to have that third guy jumping into play. Outplayed Montreal so much. Yeah. Jay, Valeno on the PP, Cappy on the bench. Yeah, that one. If you caught the second intermission, I had a pretty good rant about that. You can go back and look at it. It's up on YouTube. Yeah. Danielle, hi Grant. MSL killed the momentum trying to force Monty into the net. The team played tentative last game and it bled into this game. It sure seems that way. Didn't think they were too bad to start the game, but Bontoon, worst game of the season, hard to watch after the Hook got injured. I hear you, man. Off Heady, well, that was a fun one. Whew. Loads of fun. What does Mr. Rick Springhetti have to say? Habs looked like the team that struggled at the start of last season. Zero cohesiveness between the forwards and defensemen. Yes. Wannabe Irishman. Yeah. That's a little inside joke between me and Rick. It looked like November 2024 Habs, didn't it? It sure did. And I don't want to think about that. Man. That was really bad handling of the goalie. Hey, Scotty. I hear you. I like this from Drum Dude. Looked like the Globetrotters versus Generals. Hopefully they bounce back. Yeah. They could have had Sweet Georgia Brown in the freaking lineup and they wouldn't have helped them tonight. It was Meadowlark Lemon. Meadowlark Lemon and Curly Neal could have been playing and they just still got whomped tonight. They could have switched sides and still would have been a whomping. Ass whomping. But you know what? It can almost be a good thing because like they'll buckle down. There's nowhere to go but up here. And it's a wake-up call, right? They, I don't know, come back home. Everybody's, oh, wow, you guys are great. The media, everybody's happy, right? They come back home. They win 6-2. Everything's just hunky-dory. They're in first place in the conference. They're going to the grocery store. Hey, keep it up, boys. You're great. And they start thinking, yeah, hey, we're great. And now back to the drawing board, right? Okay, maybe we're not all that in a bag of chips. Maybe we have to work hard and nose to the grindstone. Slater, remember when Carey Price got sent down to Laval for a game? Maybe Monty needs some time there as well. Yeah, well, Carey got sent down for a conditioning stint, was it not? Like, I don't think he was sent down for because he was playing horribly. It was little different circumstance. I mean, the issue with sending Monty down is he'd have to clear waivers, and believe it or not, he'd get picked up like Toronto would pick him up. I mean, if they pick up Caden Primo, they pick up Monty. And I'd rather that not happen, because you know what would end up happening? He'd find his friggin' game and end up beating the Habs in the playoffs or something stupid like that. Yeah, we know about Hudson being -7. Hey, it happens. I'm in Toronto. I didn't see the game. Yeah, Suzuki's not playing. Yeah, well, he played 22 minutes tonight. I think he led the friggin' team in ice time or close to it. For a guy that, I don't know, therapy day, he played 21 seconds left and less than Noah Dobson, and that's it. He played more than all of the other defensemen, which you don't expect to see, right? Hudson even 18-12. Like even Marty said, "Oh, Lehner's not feeling it right now. Cut back his ice time." Oh, hey, every young player goes through, and every young team. They're the youngest team in the league, so um, got to keep that in perspective, right? Youngest team in the league's gonna have peaks and valleys. Right now, it's obviously a valley. You can't panic about it. It's still only 2 games. Um, the injury to Newhook hurts, uh, and what it means is guys are gonna have to get called up, and they're gonna have to fill in and contribute. It's next man up. Hopefully, it's an opportunity for somebody to show that they should be in the lineup, that they should be playing ahead of Valeno. It shouldn't be that hard for somebody to demonstrate that, right? Uh, and hopefully, you know, and then when Newhook comes back, there's another guy in the lineup that is playing well, that came up from the minors. So, like, Laval's a good team, and there's some good players on it. So, hey, it's an opportunity for somebody else, right? Gary Kahn. At this rate, will we see Fowler halfway through the season? You never know, because it seems like right now they've managed to screw up the confidence of 2 goalies. Well, I don't think Monty screwed up his own confidence, but I don't like how they've handled Dobie. It's just he's got a fragile mindset as it is, and then just the way they're. And I don't like them pulling him. Never pulling Monty, but pulling him. I'm sorry. There's for a coach that I laud and a lot of people laud for his meritocracy. He's not. There's no meritocracy with the goalies, and to me, that's hypocritical. I don't think it should be any different for goaltenders than it is for any other position. I don't like it. Um, if they don't get their act together, they will slide down the standings very quickly. Yeah, they will, and I don't imagine they're doing great in the standings right now, are they? Like if I were to have a look at the standings, and this just give me 1 second here. I'll do live standings, and I will tell you that oh boy, she's tight, eh? Montreal 22 points, Senators 22 points, Boston 22 points, Detroit 20 points, um, Florida 19. So they could go from first in the division or tied for first, basically. Well, they're first in win percentage, miraculously still, to fifth in an awful hurry. There's 3 points separating first and fifth. So, and then 18. There's 4 points separating first and seventh. So this keeps up for another week. They'll be in seventh place before you can blink. So yeah. Stem the tide, guys. That's a big game against Boston. If you'd have told me 2 weeks ago that it'd be a battle for when Boston comes to town, it'd be a battle for first, in the Atlantic, I'd have thought you were crazy, but the Bruins on a bit of a roll there. Um, it's, I assume from Marty's point of view, Veleno was the best player tonight. Yeah. You know what he's got to do? He's got to get rid of the mustache. I'm sorry, but um, I get that, you're doing it but do something else. Get rid of the stash, Marty. It ain't working. And it looks bad. You can't even grow a mustache. You can't grow one of these cookie dusters or whatever Ned Flanders calls it there. Marty is too soft. Soup strainer. Yeah, my soup strainer there, Homer. Marty's too soft on this team. This isn't Pee Wee team. These are young men. Well, it's easy to criticize the coach right now, but I guess we can say, hey, they're still in first place. So the Pee Wee coach, big picture, I guess, we can't panic just yet. Hopefully, this is a wake up call. And again, it's better than losing like 5-4, 4-3. A couple of games, and the break here or there, or the damn refs or whatever. You can't blame these ones on the refs or breaks or anything but yourself. So there'll be lots of video. They'll be showing lots of video, and saying, "Hey, got to do this, got to do that." Oh, Rodney. Okay, relax. It's what they need early in the season. It's perfect. They need this reality. It's all good. See, I had this up, and I didn't even look at it honestly, and I'm saying it at the same time. No, exactly. The sky's not falling. It's Greg, one game it happens. Yeah, well, it's two games really, right? When you get outscored in a 70-minute span, 11-0, it's more than one game. But again, it's only two games where they don't come out with a W, and they're still in first place. So let's hope that this is the bottom, right? And that they just rebound from this and go on another run. Right now, Caulfield's gripping the stick too tight, and that'll change, right? Puck's bouncing over his stick, all that stuff. Gary Bisson, thanks for coming in there. You related to Toby? Davidson gets the call up. Well, I think he deserves it. Why not? The kid hasn't played yet the NHL. I thought he had a good training camp again. Yeah, he deserves it. He forechecks hard. He's tough too. He's tough as nails. He's a very tough player. So I would give him a look. Why not? Who should replace Hook with Cappy and Demi? Well, I don't know. It looks like they're going to maybe try Doc with Demidov and Bolduc. We'll see, but yeah, I would. I personally would put Bolduc with Cappy and Demidov and see what you got there. But it might be Doc, Demi, and Bolduc as a line. We'll see though. Either way, I'd bring up Davidson and put him with either Kapanen or Doc. Whoever they decides on the third line. Galley on the other side, I guess. Grant, what are your thoughts on Colton Parayko? Great, solid defenseman. He'd be good. He'd be good on a team that wanted to make some noise at playoff time. Someone like that might be of interest to the Canadians if he ends up being on the market. Armstrong, I don't know. I have a feeling like they're gonna make some trades probably in St. Louis, but will it be Thomas and Parayko? Probably not. Those guys are, are their best. So, and in defenseman years, Parayko's got a lot of years left, right? So I don't see them. I don't see them trading them. Eric M. Defense needs to tighten up in front of our goalie, and I think Goalie would help in that regard. Yeah, I agree with you there, my friend. I don't believe it would have made a difference in losing the last 2 games. However, is this a reality check to realize the influence and leadership that Goalie has on this team? Could be. It'll help getting him back in. You mentioned earlier that you hope Dovich sitting wouldn't affect his confidence. Well, that's what I'm worried about. But we're not in the room. I don't know. I can be critical, but I don't know. It's St. Louis have rarely given up ice time to players coming from the AHL. I feel that whichever line the player from Laval ends up on, that line will play 7 minutes. Maybe, but I think it's a little different this year in that it's pretty balanced. And, Evans is never going to play 7 minutes. And if that's who the player ends up playing with, you know that he's going to get more than that. Well, what they may do here is, put him with Kapanen and Veleno and play them 7 minutes. That would be. It looks like Kapanen's. I don't know. When you put Veleno out instead of him on the power play, I'm starting to wonder. I don't know. Snake's been talking to Marty or whatever, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Marty must think that Kapanen's 10 points are an aberration, I guess. I don't know. I don't get it. Montreal seemed to be slump buster for some guys lately. Yeah. Robertson tonight. Good point. David, thanks for, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, my friend. Benizri? Okay, I tried. Do you think this team needs a spark? Yeah, they do. 2 games now at home where we were blown out. Yeah, they need, well, they're going to have a call up now for sure. I'd call up 2. And sit out Veleno. I think they need a double spark, not just one. I'd call up 2 guys. I don't know if it'd be Beck and Davidson or I don't know, Joshua and Davidson or Jacki and Davidson, but Davidson for sure, and maybe another guy. Even Tuck's been playing not too bad lately. Maybe, bring up some size, a little bit of grit, something like that. Dobson was only -1 in a 7-0 loss. Yeah, and it was at the end there, and it wasn't his fault. So could have been worse, Both goalies with a .500 save percentage. Yeah. Or, okay, 600. Well, that's good, eh? But they outshot a team. Like we were saying, just wait till they outshoot somebody, right? Yeah. Didn't make much difference. Bontoon, Hudson does not look great recently. Is he injured? No, I think he's just trying to do too much. He's a young player, 2nd year in the league. It happens to McCagg. Quinn Hughes, you look back to his 2nd year in the league, he had lots of struggles. So it happens, You come in and you look like a future star, and 2nd year there's a better book on you, right? People aren't falling for some of the stuff that they did the 1st year, and better scouting on them. And look what happens, right? He'll fight through it though. He's competitive as can be. How much, Rick Woods? How much of the last 2 losses is about the system? Can we continue to fall back on youth? I don't know. start blaming the youth for this. I don't know. Mark, the first period we were on top of it, but then the calls and injuries went downhill quick. Glad to see Doc is okay. Yeah. Let's get tougher. Kevin Gumbly, let's get tougher for Boston. Hallelujah. Pierre, thanks, buddy, for your contribution there. Pierre was nice enough to send me some cash today. Good man. We had a good little chat, and you're welcome to comment as much as you want. You know that. But then they had to start playing Monty no matter what. And here we are with nobody stopping the puck. You called it Grant stating you were worried about Dobish. Well, I wish I wasn't right. This is one time when I wish I was wrong. Habs fever. It's only 2 games. The most devastating thing about tonight was Nui getting injured. I'd agree with that. But also, I think the other devastating thing is Dobish looking like lost his confidence. So now there's no goalies with confidence. That's not good. Sheldon, it comes down to breakdowns and attention to details. It's not like they weren't trying. Oh yeah, they always try, but Thunder Gods, rough game. Looks like they were missing goalie. A new injury, I think, affected the team mentally. That's a good point too. But they were down. They didn't look like they were winning at that point either. But no, that's a decent point. Kevin Gumbly again. I see Demidov playing with Doc and Bolduc. Well, yeah. Well, they were playing together in the third period, so it looks like we might be getting that. How do you get our goalies' confidence back? Good question. I can't answer that. I know I don't think they've handled Dolby very well, so I don't know. I know Perry's slowing down, getting older, not getting any younger. I think he would still be very valuable to this team. Yeah, you're talking about Corey Perry missing having a warrior like that. Maybe, but I don't think the team that's got him is looking to get rid of him, right? Hi Grant, thoughts on Monty play in the third? 500 or 600 save percentage. I don't have much to say about Monty's play all year. Yeah. Jay, Susie can't afford to take any time off. Who plays in his spot? Valeno? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I was saying there, I think that Marty's showcasing him for the Olympics. Valeno. That's why he was on the PP. That's why he gets out all the time there. Showcase for the Olympics for Valeno. Yes, John B. Sloop John B. Davidson. Why not? Trade Valeno for Perry. Yeah. Takes 2 teams to tango. I'm afraid Newhook will be out a long time. Did not like the look of that leg crashing into the board. Yeah. Could be his ankle or his heel. Might have shattered his heel or something. We can only speculate. Could be knee too, but definitely Cappy was like this, right? So Newhook was in pain and he was yelling out right away. That's never a good sign. Are the Montreal candidates allowed to do emergency call up to get Michael Hage? That's a good nickname for them right now, the candidates. Yeah, no, not enough injuries. I wouldn't do that. That wouldn't be a good idea. Let him cook. He's not ready for the NHL just yet. Someday soon, but not yet. Fowler comes up and pulls a Dryden. Wouldn't that be something else? Yeah, yeah. Could be a broken ankle. I hope not. I hope not. Lower part of the leg bent far the wrong way. Eesh. Yeah. Hey, a quick game to Fowler just to take a look. Well, I guess, I mean, if, you could, yeah, you don't have to necessarily send a goalie down, right? Um, there is a roster spot. And if they're going to keep going with six defensemen and okay, they'll call up a forward, but maybe you could call up a goalie, I guess, for a game to have a look at some point. Maybe they consider that, but Marty's doing everything in his power not to shatter Monty's confidence and calling up another goalie. I can't see Marty doing that because he's doing everything in his power to right the ship with Monty. Soon we might be talking about tanking again. Maybe. You know what, Little Potato? They're still in first place in the division. So win percentage wise, all wise, they're still in first place. So, you know, I wouldn't. I mean, a week ago, Ottawa was talking, oh, well, maybe we should start tanking. And now they're tied with Montreal in point scans. So there's so much parity in the league. There's going to be ups and downs, peaks and valleys. It's just 2 games. This continues for 4 or 5 games, and yeah, yeah. Then you start to think, oh, panic, panic, panic. No need to panic yet. Yeah, there you go. See, cooler heads prevailing, right? Hey Grant. Hey Carl. When is it time to accept Gallagher isn't an NHL caliber player anymore? Gally does this all the time. I've been talking about it. He goes through a little stretch where not much is happening, and you know what? He'll score a goal, probably bouncing off his nose or something, and he'll go on a streak and score like 5 goals in 7 games. It happens every year. Um, we've counted out Gally too many times, and I'm not ready to. We didn't expect that from him last year either, right? So not quite time yet to mail it in on Gally. He's a warrior. He'll come. He'll bounce back. Veleno on the PP made me leave the game. That was a bit much, especially when you're getting destroyed. I did not get it whatsoever. What are you doing? A guy with 0 points. Well, let's reward him. Hey, he can get things rolling, right? 0 goals, 0 assists, power play. It boggled my mind. When there's a kid, I don't know what Marty like. It's like, okay, Dobish and Kapanen were in the running for like the Calder. They're like top 5 candidates the first month of the season, and it's like Marty said, well, we can't have that. Let's you know let's play mind games with them. Let's screw up their confidence, right? Let's not. Let's put Veleno 0 points. Well, I'm back. There was a little bit of a. I went away for a sec there. I don't know. How did you end up scouting for the Habs? Yeah. Oh well, I got to know Trevor Timmons, and we talked a lot. I went to games. I worked for McKean's. I sent him my all my thoughts on players, reports. After a couple of years of you know him seeing that, hey, I didn't have too bad a scouting eye. He managed to get me a part time position with the club. under Bob Gainey, who I love Bob Gainey, just a peach of a man. And you know, I scouted part time for a couple of years under Bob, and then George Gillette too, who was a good man too. And then Molson took over. They when Bob left, they for some reason they hired Pierre Gauthier, and he slashed the scouting staff like skeleton staff. Got rid of about 5 scouts, and they didn't freaking replace them for years. Montreal at one point, didn't even have an Ontario scout, a full-time Ontario scout, which absolutely ridiculous. But I'm not gonna go down that road too long. Times have changed, thankfully. Rodney Redcliffe, the Habs last year played the underdog. They should play the same way because they're still the underdog. Yeah. Good point. I think they're reading their press clippings. Canadians have played 20.73% of the season. Trades are rare this time of year. They padded themselves points where they can buy some time to punch their way out of this. Absolutely. No, you don't panic at all, guys. Out of all the players you've ever scouted, who was your fave? I don't know, like, what you mean by fave. Like, who was the best or favorite? I absolutely loved Demidov. He was ultra exciting, I have to say. As far as like best live performance I ever saw, might have been Stamkos in Ottawa one night. He was just sensational. Absolutely loved him, and I had no issue with him going first overall after seeing that game. I think he had 3 goals, 3 assists, just did everything. Probably the best game I saw by a prospect. You know who was a lot of fun to watch in his draft year? Was Jonathan Drouin. Oh my goodness, he was lights out, very entertaining to watch. And the playoff. I went down to Quebec City, and that playoff series against with Grigorenko in Quebec, Halifax came in. They were down 3-0, and Drouin and McKinnon. Drouin just put on a show. He was just unbelievable, and basically carried that team on his back and came into Gatineau and was just as fantastic. That playoff, I've never seen a junior player play better than Drouin did that one playoff year. He was just so dynamic and so good. And that's why, when they made that trade, at the time I wasn't I didn't have a huge issue with it. I wasn't the biggest Sergachev fan, and I thought, this Drouin kid steps up for playoff time and was so clutch. And I thought that he'd turn it around in Montreal, and then they stuck him at center, which was just ridiculous thing to do, and screwed him up. It was like with Doug Wickenheiser. Montreal has been able, ever since Wickenheiser, they seem to have a knack for taking really skilled players and screwing them up, for whatever reasons or another. It's happened too many times, and I'm hoping that the same thing doesn't happen with this young group. So far, so good, but nights like tonight make you wonder a bit. Derek Kane, thanks for the comment. I don't find Struhl playing too badly, to be honest with you. Jay Marty could be sending a message to the guys with putting Blaine on the power play only. I don't know. Only message he's sending is Kapanen, I have no confidence in you. Your 10 points is a mirage. I don't like it. I don't like it. Pierre, my girlfriend said the same thing. Marty sent a message. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I think you're giving them too much credit. uh, the old saying about losing a few before a win and vice versa. Don't think it applies to 7-0 games. That's just better. I hope for love to see your passion for the game as we speak of those rare moments you were privy to. Hey, no problem, my friend. Okay, we're up over an hour here. Not getting too many more comments. I have to get going here, guys. Grant, you comment on how much Demidov left an impression on you when you were providing scouting analysis on him. Would you say that you're getting that same level with Zurowski? Not quite, but yeah, he's really impressing me for sure. Little different kind of player too. Like what's impressing me with Zurowski is I think you know he might end up being a center, which uh, you know brings more value than Demidov. Um, in that regard, like a center, is just such a valuable piece. Uh, it's not quite as dynamic, I don't think, as Demidov offensively, but he's not far behind. I really, I'm really impressed by Zurowski for sure. Um, uh, well, guys, I'll answer a couple more here, but pretty spent. Um, Sheldon, my first in-person Habs game was when Wickenheiser was the rookie playing against the Jets. He was a healthy scratch that game. The late Brian Murray, I'm from the same town. He mentored me. Uh, you know, when you talk about people that helped me get into scouting game, Brian Murray had a lot to do with it. I'd sit in the there was a local pub in Shawville, Quebec that Brian and Tim Murray, his nephew, Todd Hardy, his nephew, they scouted for Brian, and they'd go whenever they were there, and I'd sit and have a few pints with them. We talk hockey, and I learned so much from those guys. Um, Brian Brian coached Wickenheiser in Regina the year that he got drafted. Took him. They went to the Memorial Cup, and Wickenheiser was so good. He was the best draft eligible prospect in a decade since Lafleur. And it was without question. And Howard came the next year and was even better. But it had, you know, I mean, Mel Bridgman had gone first. Danny Potvin, but I'm talking like forwards. Wickenheiser was the best forward since Lafleur in the draft. Mel Bridgman went first. Rob Ramage went first. Greg Jolly, like a lot of mediocre guys first overall. But Wickenheiser, he had it all, and he was just spectacular in his draft year. And Montreal sits him. The first game's against Chicago at home. Denny Savard comes in. He's playing. Wickenheiser sitting in the. This is a kid that had never that had just was a natural everything. He was, and they screwed with his confidence. They screwed him up. He got into drinking and heavily and stuff because he got depressed. You're you're the best, and then all of a sudden you're being told, oh no, you can't even play, and you know, they played mind games with him and screwed his confidence up, and he never became the player that he should have been. It was really, and Brian's just said like they just mishandled him just terribly, and it's too bad because he was the next one. Like it was all in place. They got the Flower in 71. They got Wickenheiser in 80. It should have kept going, right? And no, they messed with him, and I just it's a sad story. Then he wrecked his knee, and then he had cancer, obviously, and passed away early. Sad, sad tale. But anyway, on that note, um, Thrawn, you're in a little late there, my friend. Thought the Habs were facing the Stars tonight, not the bus drivers. Yeah. uh, Management team won't do is burn our young players. Sadly, many have been burnt in the past on the Habs. I certainly hope so, Mark. I really do. Yeah, I have a lot more confidence in this management group than I did in Irvin Grudman or Reja Ul, who I like Reja as a person, but he was not a good GM. That's safe to say. He didn't have any experience. Yeah, we got up to 830 people watching here tonight, folks. Well, 834. That's pretty good. I really appreciate folks coming out. Somebody on X is asking about Eric Ramo accountability. You know what? Yeah, I don't know that the goalie coach is the best. Oh, somebody coming in. Peace Country Equipment. Hey, Richard Maisonneuve. Habs are soft and useless. Time to shake things up. Sure, yeah. It's easy to say that right now, right? It seems that way. Thanks for weighing in, Richard. It's right now it's looking a little bleak, but they're still in first place in the division. So let's hope it's just a blip on the radar and things get straightened out. Pierre, Regin was a horrible GM, nightmarish proportions. Oh man, you know what that used to bother me the most about when he was GM was him. Things got leaked to the press all the time. You knew who the first pick was going to be. Uh, you knew who they were trading for. Like there was rumors for months that they were going to get Dykhouse. There was rumors for months that they were going to get Eric Weinrich. There was rumors for months that they were going to draft Turner Stevenson. They had 3 straight drafts where they picked in the first round. They picked busts from Seattle. The best of the bunch ended up being Turner Stevenson, but they just whoever their scout was out west, just yeah, no, let's go with that guy. Oh, let's go with that guy. Lindsay Vallis, Turner Stevenson, Brent Bilodeau. It just went on, and they kept doing it and kept doing it, and it was crazy. You know what? Trevor Linden was a really good player in Vancouver, but then when he came to Montreal, sometimes it just doesn't click right with a new team, and I don't know why, but Linden just wasn't the same player. It's kind of like Luc Robitaille when he went to the New York Rangers, right? Fabulous in LA, goes to New York, and he just didn't work for him. And then he gets traded back to LA, and then he starts scoring again. Matthew O'Grady says, bring in Florian. Yeah. Is Grillo still part of the team? Is he helping Marty from the stands? Grillo was diagnosed with cancer. So he's still part of the team, but yeah, that was big news last week, and very sad. And I hope I hope he wins the battle and he's back full time on the staff again. Yeah, you didn't see that, Thrawn? Yep, he he's battling cancer right now, and all the best to Roger Grillo. Richard, love your show. Tired of our team getting ran out of the building. Yeah, I hear you, my friend, and thank you for the compliment. Um, I really appreciate people weighing in. Hey, I was hoping we get her up to 1,000 tonight. Got up to 841 here. Oh, after a loss, people are less likely to come on, right? Von well, people keep asking questions. I'll answer a few more here, guys. Um, Thoughts on Gallagher's play? He's struggling right now. Gally has those. He has those stretches where he doesn't. You know, you think, oh, he's done. I think I've been saying that for 3 or 4 years now. Oh, Gally, time to hang up the blades, and then he'll score a goal, and he'll score another one. Then he'll go on a 8-game streak where he gets like 5 goals. What did I think of Matheson? To be honest with you, uh, like I don't know that you can single out. I don't know. I didn't really pay a lot of attention to individual players tonight. It was just kind of one of those games where you just sort of, you're watching, but you're not. Like your eyes are glazed over. I wouldn't want to have to write scouting reports on all of the players from tonight because it's just one of those games where you're watching, but you're not really watching. You know what I mean? I mean, you played 21-25 tonight, and he was -1. So there were worse. There were worse players than Matheson tonight, as far as I'm concerned. I hope that sort of answers your question. I miss Markov. I don't miss his personality, but yeah, Markov was a smart player. Pierre, Grant, how do you fix the goalie situation? We're in an absolute pickle right now. Well, you got to hope that Dobie bounces back. I'd put him in again next game, but it'll be Monty. You watch. Matthew O'Grady, that's what we need. 2 big loss. Now it's time to go. Yeah, it may end up being a blessing in disguise. Like I said, not losing 4-3 and 3-2, 2 close ones, and still thinking, they're on top of still first in the division, and still thinking, oh, we're Jack the Lad here. No, I think wake up call is not a bad thing. Like the video room will not be a fun place tomorrow, and that's fine. Uh, Wake up. Time to wake up, boys. Time to step up. You lost a guy tonight. Time to call someone up. Inject a bit of youthful, or not youthful, but enthusiasm into the group. They've been a little stale, really, for probably going back the last 5 or 6 games. Really, they managed to, score a few late against Utah, but that game could have gone either way too, right up until late in the third period. And they scored a few, right? So really, it's been a few games now that they haven't been great. So yeah, I would agree with that. Habs have gotten some wins, but so far this season, other than a couple of games, haven't played well in general. Yeah, well, they also lost a couple of games that they could have won too, right? Like before the last 2 games, they could have been about with only 2 losses. So yeah, Jay, gotta Give Suzuki the Mr. Yeah, Miyagi fix. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's a Karate Kid reference of some sort. Yeah. What, get him out buffing the cars or what? Molson's car? Start. Yeah. Matthew O'Grady, Desjardins. So, okay. So what we're saying here, like get back Desjardins Markov and that'll fix things. Yeah. You want some vets, they'd definitely be vets. Sure. Bring back Desjardins, Markov, pair them up, get them back there on the blue line. Yeah. Okay, guys. I think we're finally we can finally say good night and whew, not a great one. Okay, folks. Thanks for showing up again. I gotta go. Don't jump off a cliff or anything. Just a couple of bad games. Hopefully, it's out of their system, and they bounce back against Boston. They usually come up big for Boston, right? So I'm expecting a better effort. If everybody could play, with the effort that we got from Slav tonight, they'll be fine. And hopefully the first line's been in a little bit of a slump lately, and hopefully they get a couple and things get rolling. It's time for Demi's been a little off the last few games too. He had a couple of good shots tonight, but we can see better from Demi too. So, okay, good night, everybody. Thanks, and I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow yet. Probably we'll probably do a recap at some point, but I am going to get up that Davidson video for you folks. It'll be good timing. Okay, have a good night, everyone.